Hello YouTube and welcome back to episode 11 of Let's Build a Hobbit Village. Now it's been a long time, it's been 2 months since I last uploaded a video of this. I actually just went back and watched that last video, episode 10, and it was awful. I mean, what was up with my voice? I sounded like I wanted to just keel over and die. I mean, what's going on? As you can see, there's been a bit of a drastic change. I did just record this video, and for some reason the video didn't save. I'm not sure why. I mean, maybe I didn't actually press the record button, but I'm about 99% sure that I did. So I don't know what's happened there. But basically, when I was... the reason I stopped making these videos is because this plot is almost a year old. I started working on this in the summer last year, and you know, in that space of time, because the server closed and then it reopened, and then I was doing something else, and then the YouTube channel started up, and then we had all the whole griefing thing. So just loads of stuff had happened in the last 10 months, 9 months, and you know, it's changed like the way I was like, I've just lost inspiration for the build, and I've also improved my techniques. Now the prime example is over here. If you go back and rewatch my how to naturalizing video, or my how to forest video, which I'm not sure if I'm going to upload before or after this, probably before this video, then you'll see a vast difference in, you know, the sort of terrain and the naturalizing and making it look good. I mean, like here as well, even in here for a forest, and it was just terrible. I mean, that was something that I knew that I was going to have to come back and revisit this area, but because it required so much effort to come back and change it all, I just had no inspiration to do that. But because of Lord Dakr's recent still pond video, I think it was episode 31, and he came round and he was looking at the roof over here that he wants to try and emulate. I mean, that was recorded months ago, so sorry to burst anyone's bubble, but he recorded that quite a while ago, and I knew it was going to be coming. And now that he's actually, you know, sort of advertised my channel and this series and everything, a lot of people are going to be coming over to the channel expecting that series. And I really enjoy Hobbit, and I've been meaning to get around to revamping this, and this has just sort of given me a little kick up the butt that I needed to get it going again, I suppose. So I've completely got rid of this forest. We've still got the trees that were in the forest up here if we want to reuse them. I'm probably going to be building a lot more trees, all on camera and everything, and I think we're going to have a little hobbit hole here, because I thought that the whole forest in general was a little bit too big. I think on this side we're going to have a lot of conifer trees and spruce trees, all those type of trees. And then over here we'll have the deciduous side. They can grow over onto this bit of hill over here, which is why I've left those. And we've got some nice ones over there as well. So I think it's all going to look pretty good. I'm going to build a big tree up on here, like a big beech or something. So we're going to actually start making a hobbit hole in this episode. And depending on how long it takes, we might start making the rest of this terrain look good. And I think I'm actually going to have to turn off shaders for a bit, because all the shadows of the tree stuff up here is kind of, well, it's getting annoying. I can't really see what I'm doing properly because of the glass and the way shaders work. So we're actually turning shaders off. So we're going to start off and make a small hill. Actually, we'll make a big hill. So we'll do mask and we're just going to plonk some spheres down here and just try and get an idea of a size for a hole that we want. And I'm thinking maybe we can get 2 smaller holes, because these hobbit holes all here are quite large, and you know, people who lived in hobbit holes were either rich or they were poor. So I'm thinking maybe we can get 2 hobbit holes instead of just the one. I think that might look quite nice. So as well as that, we're going to make all this quite hilly here, and then just like let it come naturally down to a point over there. So this is looking good. We're going to put couple of spheres on top, just so we've got a bit of ceiling space to play with when we do make the holes. And I'll probably have to get rid of all of these hedges, but we don't worry about that in this episode. We'll come back to that at another time. So now I've done that, I'm going to get a smaller brush. So small, size 2. Size 2 a bit too small? No, size 2 is good. Size 2 is a good size. So here we go. We can just put a few of these down. And I know I've done a big long how-to video about making hills and how to make them look nice and stuff. But if you can't be bothered going back rewatching that video, I suppose this is a nice little introduction for you. And just like, I'm not going to talk in detail about the techniques that I use. I'm just sort of going to do that because I do a lot of how-to videos which just show you sort of techniques that I use to do stuff. So like forests, farms, what's some other ones I've got? Hills, you know, stuff with world edit, all that kind of stuff. And I've got tutorial series which are more sort of detailed, like do this, do that, you have to do it this way, this is the way I do it, that. Whereas the how-to videos are more just like general tips and techniques and stuff like that. Just thought I'd clarify that for any new people. And yeah, so I'm not going to be going in great detail about it, but if you do see something that I'm doing and you want to know more about it, like you need help on maybe some world edit commands that I'm doing, or you need help on like how have I done this, maybe I've not like gone over it in the video, maybe I just like skip that and you're not sure and you want to see how I've done that, comment below, and if I've not already done it, then I'll do a video on it. And if I have already done it, but the way that I do it has changed, or I think that it needs an extra video or something, I'll probably do an extra video on it as well. Because, you know, I'm just here to help people. That's the whole point of this series. Not the series, my YouTube channel. I'm not doing it for the fame or things like that. I'm doing it for fun because I like helping people. And YouTube is how I learned to build. I mean, I used to watch Jamsy's Boys video religiously, as many people did. And you know, that's fine, you can copy the tutorials and everything, you get a few ideas, but then you've got to learn the techniques. You can't just learn like the block by block stages, you've got to learn the in-between stuff as well, which is why I'm doing the how-to series. I'm trying to get you guys to see all my techniques so that you guys can come up with your own. Similar thing in martial arts, which I do a lot of martial arts, and you know, you get taught by your sensei, you get taught his technique. You know, this is how, this is how this is practiced. You know, he might say, oh, why don't you try putting your leg in this position? Or why don't you try putting your arm over here? And then you're like, oh yeah, I see how that works, that's pretty cool. That's his technique. You know, when you get older, or as you get better at the discipline, then you might think, oh, well, I actually prefer having my leg over here, or I prefer having my arm over here. Then that's your technique. It's still the same thing that you're trying to achieve. It's just different technique and stuff like that, which is basically the way I see Minecraft. Like, there's all we're doing is making a hill. The way to make a hill, there's thousands of different ways you can make a hill. Same with like houses. You know, how many different styles of houses are there between, like, you've got a Hobbit house, you've got a Dwarven house, you've got medieval house, you've got European house, Roman house, all those different types. They're all different styles, but it's all the same thing. It's all still a house. So it's all about how you do it and your own technique and stuff like that. Alright, so that's a good little base. So what we're going to do now is sort of smoothing out the areas. Now, I don't use this brush too much. I used to, as you can probably tell by this horrible terrain. But what I'm going to do is just sort of smoothing out the edges, try and get rid of some of these cliffs here at the water edge. And we will be using an airbrush to fix that as well. But I'm just trying to get rid of these square edges and just smoothing it all down, flatten it all out. And then I'll be using a cylinder brush to control where these smoother edges go. Just click, 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 click. Alright, so if you guys are actually new to my channel, thought I'd have to get rid of that tree. Put a comment below and introduce yourself. If you aren't new to my channel, put your Minecraft IGN down so I know who you are, because there's a lot of people like, oh, what's your vid, what's your vid, and I'm like, okay, I don't know who you are. Especially people who actually do comment regularly. You know, there's quite a few people who comment regularly. I have no idea what the Minecraft in-game name is, so I have no idea who they are. So I'm sorry about that, but all this time I don't know. I don't know you. So I've just got an airbrush now, and we're just going to go across here and just cut back some of this cliff, because I don't want the cliff. I want it to be quite flat and nice with the side of the hill. And we're just going to cut back. Same over here as well. We've got a really tall cliff that I don't really like, so we're going to get rid of that. There we go. Looking a bit better. There we go. So I think maybe we can get 3. No, it'll be 2. We'll get 2 hobbit holes in there, and I'm going to get rid of this tree just while we're here. Oops. Undo. Click there. Oh dear. Big hole in house. There we go. Right then. And the other thing as well that's made me need to change about this is that Conquest is constantly updating. So, you know, I constantly have to go back and fix things as Monsterfish adds new textures and stuff like that. So that's another thing as well why I've had to completely go back and change bits of the series. Now I've done that, it's not looking too bad. It could look better, but you know, that's what we're here for. That's what we're going to be doing now. So I used that smaller smooth brush first just to get rid of the initial kinks. Now I'm using this big one just to get a better shape. And it's, I say better shape, it's still quite square, and you might not see that, but I can see it. You know, all these square edges along here, you know, it comes into a point there and then diagonally. You just want to avoid those sections. So we're going to do brush, cylinder, 2, I think 3. We'll start with a big one because we need to change a lot. So we're going to bring this out all the way like this, so it all sort of comes out quite nicely. I have to bring it out a little bit here. Random bit of grass that I've missed. Bring that out like that. Bring that round, and just start to follow some contours around and make it all looking quite nice. This area here can be completely covered over, because why the hell not? Bring that out, across here, and this is all I'm going to be doing, is just dragging this hill out so it's not as steep on this side. It sort of glides naturally into the rest of the terrain, and this will look quite nice when it's done, or hopefully it'll look quite nice when it's done. If I come to this side now, you see that it's all starting to like flow together, and it looks a little bit more natural, and it looks a little nice. And I would rather have this lower than it is height wise, but we won't worry about that too much. I'm just going to change the brush size to 1, carry on doing with what I was just doing there, and this is still very rough. I'm probably going to be doing this by hand, fixing it out. We're just going to be bringing these out here like that, trying to stay away from straight lines and straight diagonals. And by straight diagonals I mean like where you've got this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I do 4 at most when I do those, so you know, just bring bits like that. And like I said, I'm going to be going over this by hand, fixing it up and changing what needs to be changed. But that's it for this episode, guys. I'm just going to carry on recording for a little bit, maybe put a bit of music over the top or something, and speed the footage up, and we'll just keep going till it gets to about the 20-minute mark, and you guys can just watch me doing all of this and actually working on the hill, because it's just a lot of clicking. There's not really much left to talk about, so I'm gonna just have to end the video. So if you guys have enjoyed this, you're liking that I've brought the series back, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next one.